going. So I'm curious if any of you are struggling with motivating, having energy and having clarity every day. And if that's you, pop a yes below or raise your hand and let me know. One of the things I see frequently for women who are high achieving career women is that they're so overwhelmed by their schedules and everything that they're doing that they really don't have a lot of energy or clarity, and they're not sleeping well and they're struggling to get up in the morning. So if you're like, this sounds exactly like me, this is exactly the topic for you, which is really learning the 10-minute rule to create a lot of energy and clarity in your life. And I'm going to dive right into this topic because, again, this is one of my favorite topics to understand. So 10 minutes is a really important number, not just for creating new habits, but it's an important number for movement in your body. So studies have shown that people who move for 10-minute increments at a time through the day actually have better long-term health overall. There's been studies around this, and that actually this is something that showed up during the pandemic, that when people stopped going to transit or taking the 10-minute breaks to go get coffee or to even walk to meetings, they had a pretty significant decrease in good health outcomes, and they were having a lot more health challenges. So 10 minutes is an important rule for movement, and it's an important rule also for creating new habits, because most of us, 10 minutes is a chunk of time that we can actually find and create during the day. And so for those of you who are really struggling with energy in general and clarity, typically what I find with women is that if you don't have great energy and you don't have great clarity, it's because you're not moving your body frequently enough. And if you are starting to learn to move your body more frequently, you'll realize that actually energy, moving your body, creates energy and it creates momentum. So if you're feeling sleepy or sluggish, rather than turning to caffeine or something else, consider that all you might actually need is to move your body for 10 minutes. There are so many studies that show that movement and moving physically your body generates creativity, it generates good hormones, it generates happy hormones like endorphins. It really makes a huge difference in how you feel about yourself. If you get stuck on our project or you're struggling to really make progress in our project, same thing applies there, that you actually, if you move your body, you're going to find that you have way more just that clarity that's really possible. This happened for me many times when I was writing my books. I actually wrote the introduction to 24 Ways to Move More on a hike, and I totally did it on my phone, but I was feeling really clear, I was feeling really energized, and it just flowed in. And so there's just this beautiful creative spontaneity that's possible. If you exercise or move your body for 15 to 20 minutes at a time, there are studies that show you have up to 2 hours or more of focus and energy afterward. So I always advocate for anybody, if you're looking to have more focus time and to get more done and to have more productive time, taking a break to move your body is actually going to make a huge difference. And so when you do this and you're like, oh, okay, I'm actually moving my body for energy and creativity, not for other reasons, not for trying to lose weight, not for working out to punish yourself, not for any of those reasons, but actually moving out of self-love, moving yourself out for continued focus, elevated energy. Much easier to actually say, okay, I'm going to go out for a walk. I'm going to actually see how that feels. And I typically find if I'm really stuck on something, I can't really figure out the answer to a project, rather than forcing myself to stare at a screen and find the answer, if I actually take a step back, go outside, give myself a little 10-minute break or walk, breathe some air, move my body, or even do a little dance party, put on some music at home, it really changes my ability and capacity to focus, to understand and figure out a breakthrough in terms of whatever project I'm dealing with. So this is a super important thing. So all you have to do is actually start to look at your schedule and create 10 minutes of movement per day. So if you're also struggling in general to find time to move your body, like you're not even getting really any kind of exercise or activity in your day, this is also how you're going to start to create that brave new habit of actually moving your body every single day for a minimum 10 minutes a day. All you have to do is commit to it and then say, okay, I'm going to actually really do this. And so here I'm going to tell you the really 3 easy steps that's going to help you start to move your body on a daily basis. Okay, are you ready for this? Are you excited? You're like, yes, I really want this topic. This is going to help me out so much right now, because here we go. So step number 1, look at your schedule. Look at your schedule, and I want you to write down all the 10-minute chunks you have in the day. And I know many of you are very busy, And I know that everybody has 10 minutes. It is definitely possible that you have 10 minutes. And so find those 10-minute chunks in your schedule and write them down and take a look at them. And you don't have to move in every single 10-minute chunk you have, but what you do want to know is where those 10-minute chunks exist. And now you're going to look at them and see them and write them all down. So take a piece of paper and actually write all those down. And the second step is you're going to choose one or two of those, and you're actually going to write in walk, or you can write in dance or something, but write down walk. And then what are you going to do after that? You're going to add it to your calendar for the next 10 work days. Weekends, we're going to take that out of the equation at the moment. I'm talking about your work days. So you're going to take that 10-minute chunk every day, and you're going to put it in there, and you're going to write down walk. And then what's going to happen? You're going to go do it. And then that's really it. So when you're feeling like you are just tired and sluggish and slow, the key is actually moving your body, that you're going to find a new shift in energy, a new shift in focus, simply by putting in 10 minutes of movement per day. And then what's really cool is over time, the more you do this, so remember, it takes 60 days to get a habit into place. So we're committing for just a few days right now, but I want you to start to generate this as a habit for yourself. When you start to create that habit of moving your body frequently and consistently and giving yourself 10 to 15-minute breaks once or twice a day, I would say the ideal times are to do this are right before work and right at the end of work. And if you, for whatever reason, do not have a way to fit that into your schedule, you're going to do this 10 minutes, like find that 10-minute chunk in your schedule and start to move. And when you start to find that your energy is different and you're starting to shift how you feel, it will be more motivating than anything else you have to do. But some days we aren't motivated, and that's truly what habits are for. You're trying to build in this habit that every day you walk for 10 minutes. And when you build in that habit where you walk for 10 minutes, it just simply becomes part of what you do. So I'm going to just reflect this back to a personal story. When the pandemic hit, it was really interesting to me. So I work from home, and I always really kind of expected that everybody would use that time, like 8 to 9, when you might normally commute to work, is a time you would actually take it for yourself. People told me all the time pre-pandemic, I don't have time for myself. I don't have time to move my body. I don't have time for self-care. And I was like, awesome, everyone has these commute hours. What did everybody do? They worked more. And so stop that madness and be like, oh no, I actually can take some time for myself and build it into my schedule. Because when you move your body, and I walk 10,000 steps per day for me minimum. And then I also really try to go to a class like yoga or CrossFit or a movement class, because I know it makes me a better human. It makes me a better coach. It makes me a better dog mom, a better partner, a better daughter. Like all of the pieces of me are better and more integrated when I move my body regularly. So this is the task for you, is to start this practice and start to build it in. And I'm asking you right here to commit to 5 days. And if you can commit to 5 days, pop it below in the chat and say, yes, I'm going to do this for 5 days. I'm going to build in 10 minutes of movement every single day. And you're really going to support yourself, your own energy, and your own focus. And if you want to add on a little bit, you can journal, or you can pop into the chat below how you feel after you move for 10 minutes at a time. Truly committing to this and then actually seeing the results of it, those things over time help us establish the habit. And then eventually you automate it so that walking 10,000 steps a day like me is just part of the plan. I don't think about it very much. It's just kind of what I do. At the end of the day, I check. And if I haven't gotten there, I go for a little walk and I get my last 2 to 3,000 steps. So that's what I want you to do today. We're not going for 10,000 yet. We're just going for the 10 to 15-minute walk once a day. Pop in a yes below if you can commit to that, and then report back once you've done it. Because this is truly how we're starting to build in all these different foundations of strength and clarity for yourself, so that you can truly be living your life into a place where you feel connected and whole and energized and clear on a daily basis. Okay. So if you're like, yes, I can do this, put it in the chat. I'm so excited that you all tune in for this extra special conversation. And then we're going to be back again soon. Okay. I'll talk to you all later.